Good evening, I'm Aditi Lamba and you are tuned into this Wednesday South Asian News segment with Vision of Asia. As we come close to the culmination of the Navratri season, community continues to celebrate and infuse more of the Indian culture and traditions with many conventions, festivals and other events that are bringing together a stronger voice for South Asians in America. Lost on the ongoing religious commemorations as well as dialogues on prevalent political topics on the episode tonight, but before beginning, let's take a quick look at a national update. Today, police intercepted suspected explosive devices sent to several current and former US politicians as well as the CNN news channel. Pipe bombs were sent to a number of prominent Democratic politicians, including former President Barack Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, sparking many intense investigations. President Trump on the occasion addressed all, stating that acts of threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America. In Manhattan, New York, Mayor de Blasio called the attempted bombings an effort to terrorize and vowed that the city's residents won't allow terrorism to change them. None of the devices harmed anyone, and we hope for the safety of all. Let's now take a look at the headlines coming in for this evening. Bharat Sevashram Sangha hosts Durga Puja prayers and processions, Kendall Park, New Jersey. Gayatri Temple brings hundreds at Garba 2018 Festival in New Jersey. Inspiring South Asian American women host interactive discussion on immigration 2018 policy changes and effects in New Brunswick. More on the other side of the break. Stay with us in Vision of Asia, Voice of the Community. We'll be right back. Welcome again. I'm Aditi Lamba and you're watching Vision of Asia, South Asian News segment. This month has seen a wide range of festivities commemorating Indian festival of Navratri and its traditional Garba Ras events throughout. The events are dedicated to Hindu goddess Durga, epitomizing strength, known as the Hindu deity of power. Garba and Dandiya Ras have now become synonymous with Navratri, as the dance forms are a must during celebrations, which comprises of traditional attires, Gujarati folk music and dance, celebrating the strong reflection of Hindu Gujarati heritage and its presence in the United States. Also signifying community togetherness, the Garba Ras celebrations this year have been seen throughout the nation, with various Indian and Hindu entities organizing several events in the honor, and we have been following it with all the activities, bringing you all the highlights. Tonight we have one of our last coverages for Navratri 2018 from New Jersey, which recently saw hundreds come together at Garba 2018 festival held at the popular Gayatri Temple. Let's take a look at some highlights.
એક માનો પર્વ છે અને ભારતીય સંસ્કૃતિની અંદર સ્વાભાવિક રીતે જ માનું ખૂબ જ મહત્ત્વનું સ્થાન છે. પૂરું બ્રહ્માંડ માની ગોદથી જ ઉત્પન્ન થયેલું છે. એ માની જ પૂજા, ઉપાસના, આરાધના કરવા માટેનો એક આ 9 દિવસનો જે પર્વ આવે છે, જે આપણી સંસ્કૃતિનો એક હૃદયનો ધબકાર છે. ગુજરાતની ગરિમા સમાન, સાથે સાથે ભારતીય સંસ્કૃતિની ગરિમા સમાન એ માની ઉજવણીના આ પર્વને નવરાત્રિને રૂપે આસો નવરાત્રિની અંદર ગરબે ઘૂમી અને આપણે સૌ એને ઉજવીએ છીએ. માની શક્તિ અને ભક્તિની ઉપાસના અને આરાધના કરતા હોઈએ છીએ. નવ જે સ્વરૂપ છે એ નવ દુર્ગા સ્વરૂપની પૂજા અને ઉપાસના કરીએ છીએ. શક્તિની આરાધના આપણે સૌ કરીએ છીએ. એક શક્તિ અને ઉર્જાને પ્રાપ્ત કરીએ છીએ જે આપણા સૌની એક સાંસ્કૃતિક ધરોહર છે. અહીં અમેરિકા ખંડે ન્યૂજર્સી ક્ષેત્રે પિસ્કાટવે મહાનગરની અંદર ગાયત્રી ચેતના સેન્ટર જે આવેલું છે, જેની અંદર અત્યારે નવરાત્રિ પર્વની ઉજવણી થઈ રહી છે.
Let's now take a look at another Hindu occasion which also marks many celebrations in the country this month. With Hindu goddess Durga being prime focus of honor and prayers, Hindu organizations have been partaking in many religious gatherings, especially with Durga Puja festivities. A huge religious event in the Bengali community, Durga Puja is celebrated with much enthusiasm and fervor every year, symbolic of the ultimate victory of good over evil, a message that has been addressed many times in this season of Indian festivals. With that, let's now take a look at the recently held Durga Puja prayers and processions organized by the Bharat Sevashram Sangha, showcasing various religious attributes of the Durga Puja. Let's take a look.
So I feel very privileged and honored when I visit Bharat Sevashram because not only I get to see the crowd, it also helps me to feel like it's home, I'm away from home. And the crowd that I see here, it makes, you get thrilled because this much crowd away from your country.
So I've been coming here since 7 years old. Thank you ITV Gold for coming and covering the event. This is a great success. As you can see, a lot of people are here today. Thank you once again ITV for coming to Bharat Sevashram Sangha, New Jersey.
Me and my whole family is very devotee to this temple, and we enjoy here all the religious, cultural and all the auspicious. All year round we have so many programs with the children, with the, all the Mahalaya thing. We are all here enjoying under the Guru Maharaj of Sri Pranavanandaji Maharaj. So this is our main Durga Puja. Thank you very much, we all who come here and enjoy the Durga Puja.
can become like the mother, but we have to be like dedicated, because in our culture and tradition, we are gods and goddesses, and we have to be like the god and goddesses.
बहुत लोग ऐसे नहीं खा के फिर आए हैं और ऐसे हो जाते हैं। हमारी संधि पूजा थी आज 12 से 1 तक, वही टाइम पे हमारी संधि पूजा हुई। और संधि पूजा की जो मीनिंग है कि जब रावण वध हुए थे तो ये बहुत अच्छा समय थे, और उसके समय में 45 मिनट के अंदर अंदर वो संधिक्षण ख़त्म हो जाता है। तो उसी के अंदर हमारे पूजा भी ख़त्म हुए, और आज रात को हमने अष्टमी की फिर से पूजा कर रहे हैं। धन्यवाद।
And we are dedicated to Sevashram since 21 years. And when the first Durga Puja started, we actually from there and from now also, I think it's been 15 years we are coming here for Durga Puja. And this is the only place we come and we enjoy Puja a lot. And this year I got an opportunity to help the priest. So I feel so blessed to come over here.
And this is definitely the highest celebration by Bengalis. And here we all Bengalis in this country, we celebrated this with equal fervor and equal energy and equal liking, just as we did in Kolkata, West Bengal. So today is, all India celebrates Navaratri, and today is the Ashtami and Navami, and everybody, all India, including Bengalis or non-Bengalis, celebrate this. But Ashtami is particularly very important for Bengalis. I mean, that's why today is the highest crowd in here. We had a very large crowd in morning time, and that's the time we did the main puja. And now today we also celebrate, because those who cannot come from work, so that they can celebrate also, we celebrate this in the evening hours also. Thank you.
Time for another short break. Stay with us in Vision of Asia. We'll be right back. And welcome again. You are tuned into Vision of Asia, bringing you prime South Asian highlights from all across. Concluding the show, we now have an informative segment raising more dialogues on the political policies that impact many of the growing South Asian immigrant population in the U.S. With the U.S. midterm elections only 2 weeks away, many individuals and organizations have come out in the forefront discussing much on immigration, identity, and respect. In New Jersey, the Inspiring South Asian American Women organization has been empowering more South Asian women voices and involvement, highlighting several prevalent issues concerning many in our community. At Rutgers University, the organization brought together a detailed interactive session on the topic of Immigration 2018, understanding recent policy changes and their effect on South Asian communities. The event discussed separation of children, Muslim ban, H1, H4 visas, and much more, while also bringing a platform to discuss South Asian domestic violence survivors seeking asylum in the U.S. Let's take a look at the story.
Hi, my name is Nadia Hussain. I'm here with Inspiring South Asian American Women. One of the big issues that we're seeing impacting South Asian women in our community right now is the issue of revoking H-4 work authorization. So H-4 is a dependent visa. When someone comes to America on H-1, they have a visa to do work. Their spouse often comes on H-4. And before, they weren't able to do any kind of work, but there were a lot of activists that worked very hard to get some work so that people on H-4, on this dependent visa, would be able to make some money, contribute to our economy. And this was a great victory. And this was something that definitely impacted a lot of South Asian, Indian, American, Pakistani, Bangladeshi communities.
With a family from Bangladesh. They were in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and it's very similar to what you said. The father he always went to his immigration check-ins, never missed it. He had just gone to a check-in with his wife. He was going on his way to work, and immigration agents posed as, they said, oh, we're from an employment agency, knocked on his door, couldn't find it, but they picked him up on his way to work. He had 3 children. One was a citizen who was 11 years old, one was a DACA recipient, and one was an undocumented minor. And he, again, just picked up within 2 weeks. There was before you'd be held for sometimes months, and now it's kind of all over the place. So he got deported within 2 weeks. His family had no idea where it was. It was very clandestine and very scary. I mean, literally, he was gone. They could barely talk to him. They had no idea where he was. Then he was in Louisiana. Then he was in Colorado. Then he was gone back to Bangladesh. And the child, the 11-year-old, he had already had severe asthma, but had been gone for years. He had been off a nebulizer. He ended up back in the hospital just from not being able to breathe. He wasn't sleeping. He was already kind of underweight. He was not eating. His mother would call me crying, saying, my child's not eating. And then because of that stress, she ended up in the hospital. They actually both ended up in the emergency room. And the family actually ended up leaving for Bangladesh because they were so afraid that the mother would also get detained in a similar fashion.
So today's conversation on immigration opened up people's eyes on the need to be civically engaged. It's incredibly important for every person in the South Asian community and beyond to speak on behalf of all communities to make sure that every single human being is treated with the dignity and respect that they deserve. The immigration laws have been problematic for a very long time, and immigration enforcement in this country has been problematic for a very long time. President Obama, people might know this, deported more people than any other president in the history of our country. And the ACLU filed lawsuits after lawsuits after lawsuits against the Obama administration. But the immigration laws have been fluid and changing and evolving over time. So, when I talk to some community groups, people say, they're okay with legal immigration, but not okay with illegal immigration. They're okay with people that are documented and are here properly, but aren't okay with people that cheat and are undocumented. But my response to them is that, it may feel like there's a right way and a wrong way to get into this country, but really that has evolved from generation to generation. It wasn't that long ago, and maybe over 100 years ago now, but it wasn't all that long ago in the history of the world where the first immigration law in this country was called the Chinese Exclusion Act, right? We proactively excluded people from East Asia in order to enter into the United States.
I think one of the most inspirational aspects was just getting involved, hearing people's different stories to see how we all connect in different ways, despite the differences that we have, that somehow there's always a similarity within communities, that together we can make a difference. So I think one of the most inspiring things was that even though all these things are happening, there is something that we can do and we can voice ourselves and make a change.
Right now, statistically, the Migration Policy Institute has said that over 71,000 spouses of H-1B visa holders in early 2017 were issued, and now these visas, about 40% at least, are Indians. So now the way that these women are affected when it comes to domestic violence is that not only are they financially abused already most of the time before. So a lot of women who face domestic violence within the South Asian community, you're not only affected in immigration, but also financially. So when the opportunity is taken away for women to even work, now they're constricted to be completely dependent on the abuser.
The issue that I discussed was children in detention centers, and they don't belong in jails. They belong going to school. They shouldn't be scared of deportation. They should be worried about their homework.
And we're very happy to have this panel on immigration policy changes and how those changes affect the South Asian community. I think we learned today that, you know, immigration status in this country, there's a lot of different changes that can sort of negatively impact the South Asian community. I think it's so important to spread the word in the community that indeed this can affect many of us, and that, you know, our neighbors, our friends, our families are impacted. So I think the takeaway in talking about this immigration policy changes, the question was asked, what can we do? And I think one of the biggest takeaways is we can have our voices heard, get out there, get active, and most of all, vote on November 6th. Have your voices heard. Make sure that you advocate for a community and advocate for those that can't advocate for themselves. Thank you.
And this wraps up our segment of South Asian happenings for tonight. U.S. midterm elections are on November 6th, so do send us your suggestions to get your voices and organizations on our show, raising more awareness. Write to us on events@itvgold.com or follow us on our Facebook handle @itvgold. You can also now subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch many of our shows for free. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is Vision of Asia and I am Aditi Lamba. Take care.